we're in Race to Witch Mountain, and it's about two aliens, us two, and we come down to Earth to save our planet. And on our journey, we get in a cab with Jack Bruno, who is played by Duane Johnson. And he is kind of like our tour guide in a way, and he takes us to all the locations and helps us save our planet as well as this world.
What do we know about your planet?
Our planet is about 3,000 light years away from here, and travel is possible using wormholes, and that's how we travel back and forth. And on our planet, the big plot of this movie is that in our planet, our parents have been held captive because we're running out of oxygen or whatever substance.
Our planet is dying.
Our planet is dying. So our top scientists, and they come to Earth constantly to try to find something that can cure our planet, and they're going all over the galaxy to try and find something that will help our planet survive. Meanwhile, our military come up with a plan to invade Earth because they feel like that's the only necessary solution that they can use. So everyone on our planet fiercely opposes this, but fear of extinction triumphed. So what happens is, and because our parents disagree with this, they've been held captive. So it's up to us. We steal our parents' spaceship and we come to Earth because we know that they have found an experiment that will work, and we have to prove it to our planet before the military invades. So they send like an assassin after us. It's this big action adventure sort of thing, and he's coming to take us out, and this is a really awesome scene. And we run into this cabin, we find the experiment, and it's all about us trying to get back home before our parents are executed and before both planets are done.
So how does one prepare to play an alien?
Well, we before we started shooting, we really started talking with Andy. He showed us documentaries of what, like theories of people who believe in aliens, you know, what they've found, all this footage that really just got us pumped up for playing an alien. But what the challenge is really we don't know what aliens are like at all. So our challenge is to have some similar human qualities, but also have being reserved, not quite understanding human emotion or humor.
I think I love it because you get to be really creative with your character, and I love playing my character because it's nothing like who we are in real life. So it's really interesting to get into a mindset of someone you've totally made up. You're just being completely creative with it, and we've worked together to establish some things we have amongst each other, so we're not completely different, and that we're the same, so we can make it real and we can sell
similar,
it.
like because we play brother and sister.
Absolutely, and Andy, as AnnaSophia said, has been great. He surrounds you with information, so you really feel like you're in the movie. And like, for example, his office, it looks like a 12-year-old boy exploded, and it's incredible. He designs it so that there's all this UFO spaceships, they have UFOs everywhere. Pictures, Duane, AnnaSophia, me, everybody.
Carla,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
inspirational.
Awesome.
Did you see any footage of aliens that they have found on spacecraft?
Yeah, we have. Some of it you can tell, it's not really believable, but some of it is, and I think, I personally, I think that there has to be something else out there. I mean, it's such a big universe, so it's really interesting.
So, tell us about who is in pursuit of you guys. Who comes from your planet?
There is the assassin that comes from our planet to capture us, and it's sent by our military. And we kind of see the siphon is what it's called. It feels a bit like an orc in Lord of the Rings, where it was created, but it's still like a living creature. And he is so creepy, it's scary. He's about 7 foot, and he's in this armored suit with all these gadgets, like a laser gun and a sonic boom, and
he's there to take us out. He's really intense. It's there's some really amazing scenes with him and Duane and all of us, and we're being chased by him. There's this huge fight scene at the end with him. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the action like? I mean, it's what kind of action are you guys involved in?
There's a lot of explosions and a lot of chase scenes. I mean, it's called Race to Witch Mountain, so there's a lot of racing in it involved. There's tons of stunts. It's a big thriller. It's unbelievable.
It's just going. There's so much energy. It really is a race throughout the whole movie. We're running for our lives basically. So, you have to hold on tight when you're watching the movie because it just goes.
It's really just one of those things that you're just going to be gripping your seat. The magnitude of this production is just unbelievable. It's amazing.
So what kind of things can you guys do as aliens? What is it that you guys can do that other kids couldn't do?
Our powers in the movie, I am telepathic, which means I can read minds of those closest to me. And I'm also telekinetic, which means I can move objects with my mind. And that comes in handy a couple times in the film.
And my character can change the molecular density in my body. And I'll just give you a brief, because I didn't really understand what that was before, so I had to do my research and stuff. It's like, say you took that chair and you threw it through me. I can change my molecules so that it will go through me, or I can condense so that I can stop any object coming at me at will. So, and there's
like
a really,
bounce off.
Yeah, like it'll just come off. Yeah. So there's this really great scene where we're being chased by Burke, who's played by Kieran Hines, and he's zooming down the highway, and I phase out of this car, and I turn around, and the car comes smashing into me, does a couple flips. It's really, really cool.
So, what do you guys think of? What is it working like with Duane?
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Duane is amazing. He is so professional and so much fun, and I've never heard him complain once. He says hello to everybody on set. He's very courteous.
He's always on time. He's such a professional, as AnnaSophia said. He's always there to help out. If he wants to run lines with us, we run lines together. He's amazing. He's like, he's not affected by any of that Hollywood stuff, and he's a great role model for anybody, and it's such an honor to be able to work with him.
And he's hilarious.
Oh,
We
he's so
crack
funny.
up on the set all the time.
Yeah.
Do you get close to doing things like that are stunt-like? Are you personally seeing a lot of action? Are you doing things that
Of course, because we're minors, a lot of it's done by actual stunt people. Yeah, we get really up close. We just did recently a fire scene where they had a couple fire bars around us because our whole experiment lab's in flames, and there's a lot of explosions that we can get near. We did a really cool scene where we were in a cab and we were driving by these cars that were exploding. So we really get in it, but just to a safe distance. Yeah.
What's the coolest scene you've shot?
There's so many of them.
I think this upcoming week will be really fun when we're shooting a big action sequence. They're going to be shooting at us, and we're going to be in the spaceship. We shot the scene where we're in our parents' labs, and there's a bunch of things blowing up, and we're running, and it's basically like a rainforest, and there's these really cool gummy things hanging down,
Gummy things.
and the siphon's chasing us.
Yeah, and it's. Sorry, what was your question? I was totally zoned out for a second.
What about
No,
weapons? Are there any new weapons in this movie that we haven't seen before?
There's a lot of machine guns. Weapon-wise that you haven't seen before. The Siphon has these awesome weapons that come out of his arm. Like he can shoot shock waves. There's a scene where I get hit by one of them. He can shoot. What else can he shoot? He can shoot shock waves, rocket launcher sort of thing.
He has lasers, which is really cool. He has missiles, the sonic boom. His spaceship is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It looks extremely intense, very scary, and that has a lot of explosions. But what makes the explosions different in this movie is that they're blue. So they look unearthly. You can tell they're from a different planet.
Now, when do I understand it in the story? Duane's character takes you to Carla's character, and what kind of a person is Carla's character?
She's really interesting to be working with and doing scenes with because she knows so much about where we come from, and she's always in the scene, and she's really intense because she knows all about what we're talking about. And it's really cool because she's like one of the first humans that you really start to feel trust between each other, and and we start to trust Carla along the way, and she really helps us out throughout the movie. And even in real life, she really helps us out, even doing scenes. She's really fantastic to work with. She's always there, like Duane. She's amazing. She's so professional. It's great.
So if we were to compare you with, say, Earth teenagers, besides the extra powers that you have, how different are you guys from?
And I think if you were to compare us, if you were to put us in a group with a bunch of teenagers, you wouldn't be able to tell. And Andy Fickman, the director of this film, he wanted it to be that way, where we wouldn't stand out a lot. But if you were to talk with us, our vocabulary is much larger than the average,
much more advanced, yeah.
American teenager, and we are. Our planet is in a sense of chaos, so we seem to be a lot more intense and more aware of what's going on around us.
Our radar's always buzzing. We have never seen all this stuff before, so it's really intense for us. And one thing that Andy really wanted to incorporate into this movie is that because we look like normal kids, it's like, how could everyone be taking us seriously? Like, how could Burke, played by Kieran Hines, try to arrest us and take us out? And how could an assassin be after us? We just look like two normal kids. And how could we be trying to save two worlds like on our shoulders? Like, we're just normal kids. So they really wanted to incorporate that in the movie, and it plays off really well. So there's a lot of, we have to live up to a lot of stuff in this movie, and I mean, saving two worlds is a big deal. So Duane and Carla really help us out throughout the movie. So it's really cool, especially us looking like normal kids, because we blend in and it's really mysterious.
Is there anything about this planet that particularly intrigues you guys when you arrive here? Is there?
Yeah, that's one of the things we play a lot in this movie, is everything that we're experiencing on Earth is new to us. It's a whole new experience. When we're driving through the desert, we've never seen these different plants before, or maybe we have a different color sky on our planet. All these things we don't know, we haven't really decided if, Andy decided to play everything we see as a new experience.
So when you guys come into Jack's cab, how quickly does he figure out that you guys aren't quite the kids from around the block?
Well, there's a scene at the very start of the movie where he starts getting chased by these three black cars, and he assumes that Jack has gotten involved with the mafia before he became a cab driver, and he did some time in prison. And when he got out and he was on parole, he said to the mafia, "No, I'm not working with you anymore. It's done. I'm going to go back to normal life. I don't want to have this on my shoulders." So he becomes a cab driver, and so we start getting chased by these three vans, and these black Suburbans, and he starts thinking that this has got to be the mafia chasing me because they want me back, and so he thinks it's the mafia. So it's a really cool scene because we know that it's the government they know that we're on this planet and they're trying to take us out. So there's this really intense scene of them chasing after us, and he thinks it's the mafia. We know it's the government, and it's really cool. It's really
interesting. What does the government want from you guys?
The government in this, they figured out that we are aliens. They saw an unidentified something
crash
on Earth through their satellites, and so they're trying to capture us to do experiments on us, figure out why we're here.
And they want experiments,
Probes and things, and end up on that table there?
Exactly, and there's a great scene right now that we're going to be doing soon where we're suspended in the air through wires, and they're doing experiments on us, and that's when Jack Bruno, throughout the end of the movie, has a change in heart and comes and saves us.
Now, what was it like getting the job? What was the process?
Well,
you go first, because
Tell us.
I got involved with the project fairly early on, and reading the first drafts of the scripts and meeting with Andy, and then they started auditioning boys, and so I started to audition with. Then I auditioned with Alexander, and we knew right away that he was going to be it.
How many boys did you go through?
Oh, they auditioned a lot of boys, but there were final 5 or something.
It was really cool because I was in a room with a bunch of other guys that you've seen from other places before, and you've been auditioning with them before. And then I walked in the room, and I'd already met AnnaSophia because we had a meeting with Andy before. And I went into the audition with Duane, and we did the audition, and I was like, please, I want this part, please, come on. And then I walked out of the room, and then I found out I got the part. I thought it was going to be, I was actually going to find out I got the part on Christmas Day. So I was like, oh God, wouldn't that be the worst Christmas present if I didn't get the part? So I was freaking out, but luckily I got told before, and I got the part, and I was really excited, so it was awesome.
Were there a lot of rehearsals?
Yeah, we did about 2 weeks of rehearsals in school, of course.
We still do them on Saturdays as well. Every Saturday we usually have a little bit of a rehearsal. So, and the script has changed so much since its start. They've really started to develop the characters, have a lot of character arcs, and it's become this really, it's amazing. The process is amazing, and it's just become this really great movie. I'm really excited.
So do you feel that when this movie is shot and the audience starts seeing it, do you feel a certain responsibility towards your audience being?
Oh, absolutely, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a huge responsibility for this whole film because it was there were 2 movies previous to this, which we are doing a re-imaging of. So there's the original fans from the movie. The actually 2 of the original characters, Tia and Tony, they have a little
cameo appearance
in this movie.
And it's sort of, it's really mysterious in a way because you see the 2 original people from Escape to Witch Mountain, and this is a reinvention of that, and there's a scene where they actually help us escape. So the people who've seen the original movie will be thinking, maybe those are the original Tony and Tia, you know, from the original Escape to Witch Mountain. So it's really interesting, and it's such an honor because I was brought up. My parents used to watch these movies, and I was brought up, and they showed me the movies, and I used to love the movies when I was little. And it's such an honor to be able to be playing opposite. I mean, Tony and Tia in this movie, like playing their characters and be able to meet them, and it's really cool.
So how similar is this movie to the old one?
It's there's the same basic storyline as the original first movies. There's bits and pieces like the cab, our characters, the whole journey is similar, but there's a lot more action. There's obviously different actors, different characters. It's more of a modern day version.
And with someone like Dwayne Johnson, who has such a big following, and he's this big action superhero sort of guy, and so it's really been pumped up, and he's got a big following, so it's going to be, I'm really excited to see what this movie's going to turn out like. I think it's going to be amazing.